everybody, and welcome back to the I Don't Know Running podcast, where we share our experiences that make running fun and sometimes not so fun. I'm Lewis, and I'm a self-admitted lazy ultra runner.
I'm Mitch, and when are you signing up for that next race?
When?
I just saw that stuff came in. You know, like things, Javelina's opened up.
I know, I saw that. Did you hear about the debacle on it?
No.
I guess people were not happy with the servers for ultra sign up. I guess they were crashing.
I could see that. It's a popular race now.
Very popular race. Well, it's funny because I read a bunch of comments. Well, not a bunch. I read some. I saw some comments. People were not happy with ultra runner sign up because it opened at midnight, I guess, New Year's Eve, or whatever, New Year's Eve, midnight. And people were trying to sign up for it because it is a super popular race. And when you think of super popular for a 100-miler, or all the runners at Javelina, what's that? Let's say 5,000 people trying to sign up?
Yeah. And there's probably how many spots? Maybe
whatever. I don't care. I don't really care how many spots there are. My thing of what I was looking at is going, all right, ultra runner sign up. You need to step up your game. If 5,000 people shut down your server, that's not good. Look at how many people try to sign up for Boston.
Right. And
100,000 plus.
What's amazing too is they had problems like that for Bayshore in the past, where the servers.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So.
Well, I can see Bayshore because that's not through Ultra Runner sign up. That's Bayshore's website. It's a small.
It's not through Bayshore. It's actually they're using. Trying to think of the name of it.
Yeah, the popular one for road running.
Yeah.
What is that? I can't think of it. But anyway,
it's run sign up.
Run sign up. Yeah, yeah. That's another one I would say. You better step up your game a little bit. You know what I mean? If that, and that's not a big number either. And the only reason I say that with Ultra Runner sign up is because they are the one for trail running, for ultra runners, ultra running. There are others. I'm not saying there aren't any others. Well, Run Sign Up does the same thing for
road races.
They do it for other trail races like Burning River. Burning River is one that uses Run Sign Up. There were a lot of people that were not happy because they didn't get in. I guess the 100-miler filled up fast. Like, I don't know how fast, but fast. And I guess there were some 100K options open. But for me, I don't know. My New Year's resolution is already busted. I was going to run every day starting January 1. I haven't ran yet. So that's out. So I don't know. I don't know. I do want to do the Mummy.
Every week. You still got time.
Every week. Yeah, I could. Yeah. Make sure I run once a week. I do want to do the Mummy. That would be a fun one.
I got to see because...
Can you do that?
I should be around. The earliest one I'm signed up for right now is Bayshore. No, that one in Jersey. I was just talking about. I was trying to get the travel arrangements for.
When is that?
It's like the middle of April.
Okay.
I thought about trying to do like Groundhog. I don't think I can be ready for a marathon in a month. There's no way.
What are you running right now?
6.
Yeah, I wouldn't push it, man.
I think it's a stretch to get to Jersey.
It's just not worth it. I mean, you can get to Jersey and complete. I think perspective, just your goals have to change.
Yeah.
And especially right now,
yeah.
Just complete. If it's 6 hours, it's 6 hours.
Yeah,
Who cares?
Well, I don't think I could do Groundhog that way and think I could do it in 6 hours. I think I would just hurt myself.
Yeah, I think you're setting yourself up for you're setting yourself up for a major setback.
Right. So I thought about, well, maybe do the half by then. That's a possibility.
Man, I don't know. Groundhog. As much as I love, if for any healthy person, I would say, yeah. What the heck? Go do it. Why not? But with what you've went through over the last year and a half, I'd say, no way. just get to a healthy place at the beginning of a race where you don't have this and that and this and that. And man, I would go so far as to say avoid any outdoor running in tough conditions right now, in snow, in this kind of stuff.
Well, that's funny because that brings us to today's subject because that's what's got me thinking about it. But I ran this morning. I actually did a 5K yesterday.
Like a 5K race?
Yeah.
What one?
I don't think it was timed. What was it called? It was in Saugatuck.
Like a resolution one or something?
It was in Saugatuck. It was like the hair of the dog. You know, I could have taken the dog.
Which makes sense.
So, yeah. And I don't even think it was timed. I don't think there's even timing for it. It was just, you know, but with that, you get a pint glass and a free beer.
What?
So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
No shirt, no medal, just a pint glass and a beer. And some soup.
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah. Something to do.
Should have called me.
Would you have gone?
Yeah. Why not?
Next time.
I'm always for like a 5K. Yeah, why not? Would have been fun. Yeah, so for you and getting to this subject, yes, I agree. I think if I can push on you, this is what I would push. Stay off bad roads, stay off bad footing, stay off bad anything. And I know there might be even people that listen to this podcast of your buddies that run with you and they'll roll their eyes and I'll say, whatever.
I don't think my group, we talk about this stuff. You know, it's like, because we ran one day last week and I think I labeled it not the dumbest run I've ever done. And because we're all out there and, you know, another day, Rob was complaining the whole way. Like it was just crap. You know, and it's like, it's like, why are we doing this? It's like, you know, because we do. It doesn't make it smart, you know, because we all talk about that. It's like, well, I think we can, but it's not fun.
Well, I think that there's a difference between, so I'll put it into some categories. Number one, our age. Our age needs to be more careful. We talked about this on 2 podcasts ago. So I'm not saying don't do anything. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
And I'm not saying, you're over 50, shut it all down and walk around in a bubble suit. Like I'm not saying that, but I am saying you need to take more seriously things. If you really want to accomplish some goals, you're going to have to throw some stuff out the window, and getting out there on crappy footing in the middle of December or January, I just don't think that that's worth it. I think you have to recognize that things don't heal as fast. We break easier, and you have real goals in mind.
It was, like this morning, it was just nothing but slippery and sliding the whole way.
Yeah, and I just think that we just have to be more careful. And
it was definitely
if you can do it and be careful, I would say, okay, that's fine.
I think that we were relatively careful.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make it a good workout. I mean, you're working out hard. It's a good workout, but there's no, I would say it's not real training. Like if you're actually training to do something, like it's a good workout, but you're not going.
I don't know.
It's different. Like you're not doing any footwork. I'm
going to play pushback on everything today. I think, I don't know, because I think it is a good workout.
It's a good workout. I think it
still is a good workout.
I think it's a good workout. I don't know if it's good training.
Well, but I think those are similar. And I think they're almost the same. I would say that, yes, if you have a marathon scheduled in March, then yeah, maybe you're right. And that was specifically a speed day, then yeah, you're right. You probably should have went to a treadmill. You should have went inside the Y on the track or something like that. But if it was just a easy run, who cares?
Yeah.
I think that's fine. I think you're working out, like look at trail running. You have to get on the trails. So if you're using stabilizers during this run, which I'm guessing you are using a lot of them, I don't think it's bad.
Yeah,
if you can do it safely.
Yeah.
My thing is the safety and getting to the starting line healthy. That's my thing. I think that should go above. I just think that should go above things. I don't think that we have that many days in Michigan in our area. I'll say our area, especially because, man, have you seen any of the Marquette pictures?
There was a YouTube thing and I was going to watch it on that and I didn't do it.
Oh my goodness, man. Marquette is buried in snow. And I go, we don't have it so bad here. But anyway, getting to the starting line healthy. One way to do that in the wintertime is getting yourself a treadmill. That's what we're going to talk about. All this got us here.
Well, what got me there is I was thinking how crappy it is out, and I started doing research. I'm like, I should buy a treadmill. It's like, you know what? That'd be a good subject.
It would absolutely be a good subject. And I will say that I have my feelings on this now, and I'm happy to share my feelings on what I have experienced over the last 15 plus years of running. Because I've put some miles on a treadmill. I have not in the last couple of years on ours, which is a bummer because the one that we got last time, I got a nice one because I spent so many hours and miles running on basically the same treadmill at the Y. That's why I got that treadmill. That I have my opinions on those. So let's jump into it.
All right.
And it's funny how this starts. It says, why do so many treadmills become $2,000 clothes hangers? Yeah. I mean, if we had that in the closet, it may be a clothes hanger right now. Because we have not been using. Now I will say this. Nicole does not, it's not that she's anti-treadmill. She would just prefer to get outside and run. And so she does, when we got that, it was not with the intent of her really using it. It was for me.
I agree with that. I would rather be outside, but there's times where it's just not a good time to be out there.
Yeah. I like the next one. It says, if treadmills are so great, why is Facebook Marketplace full of them? I will say part of that is people just think they want to get in shape right now. Like you said, you're going to wait a month and see a bunch of them on sale and try to pick one up.
I see them, but people still want new prices for them. That's what kills me. It's like,
yeah, sorry, you take the hit when you buy those new.
Yeah.
Yeah. So most people buy based on, and this is interesting. I'm going to jump into a little bit of my thoughts. And I'll share yours obviously as well, but most people buy based on screens, sales, meaning what other ones are being, if it's high sale treadmill, and brand hype. Almost nobody buys based on their body weight, mileage, and impact forces. I don't know that I would agree with maybe the research shows that. You put together some research to put this together, so maybe that's 100% true. I will say that experienced runners probably do buy based on this.
I'm thinking somebody, you don't realize how much your impact is. Like if you're just starting out running and say you're heavier like I was when I first started running, I know I was pounding the crap out of that thing.
Yeah.
And that's what I started to think about. Like, you got to have something that can take the pounding.
Yeah. And it's interesting when you think about, you think structure, and I'll get into that a little bit as well, but the motor, every time your foot impacts, it's putting a strain on the motor.
Yeah.
Like you're almost not stopping, but you're causing a momentum shift every single impact on the motor.
Unless you're smooth. Like there are people that run smooth.
Even smooth, it's really hard not to shift to cause speed variance in the motor. It's just hard. It says buying a treadmill is about managing impact, not speed. And yeah, like you said, the framework, let's get into the framework, weight and durability, the pounding, as we mentioned, ability level and safety, both key features. But although today I would say most are pretty capable and very safe.
Yeah.
There are things about a treadmill that will make it more safe or less safe with regards to your type of running, with regards to the width of the belt. For me, that was a big key factor, and it gets expensive as you get wider.
Okay.
Tech features versus bringing your own device. I have thoughts on that as well. And cost versus risk, new versus used. So don't buy the Ferrari engine, it says, with a Geo Metro frame. I want to talk about this a little bit. We bought a treadmill. Boy, this goes back 20 years ago, probably, from MC Sports. So this is back when MC Sports was still a company. They're gone now. And it was a Thanksgiving Day sale or something like that. And it wasn't a super cheap treadmill, but it wasn't a super nice one. We're at MC Sports, right? Which is, you can find every level of treadmill there. Well, not every level. You can find the cheapest of cheap to, I don't know, let's say a decent mid-grade level. Like not any pro level or not any like high-end level.
Well, they were kind of the Walmart of the sporting goods world. Yeah. Really. Like kind of like a Dunham's.
Yep. Anyway, we bought one there, and I don't know, Nicole and I were running on it. Me more than her, although she did use them back then a little bit. Mostly me. And there was, I don't know, a time I was like, what is wrong with this? And I looked underneath, and the frame had broke. It broke the frame. And it was specifically a weld point. So obviously the weld wasn't good. But that was a classic indication of the level impact, but also the quality of the treadmill. That was not a super high level or high brand, as we will talk about a little bit. I wish I could remember the brand, but I don't remember the brand. But at any rate, you think, oh, it'll hold up. Not always. And that's the thing. I think that a lot of treadmills get sold knowing
there's a problem.
Well, not necessarily knowing that there's a problem, but knowing that they're not going to get used like people think they're going to use them, right? So most people will buy one, they'll use it for a month, and then that's it. And it sits and it becomes a clothes hanger. So all they have to worry about is that first month. Get through that.
True. Depends on I would think it depends on the price point. When you look at that sweet spot, it's not something you're going to buy to have for a long time.
Yes. And I think
you might have it a long time, but it's not used as a treadmill anymore.
Right. And I think about it as a company, if you're selling treadmills and you're selling them for, let's say, $500 a piece, and you're selling them, hundreds of thousands, right? And you get like, let's say 100 people use them as they're supposed to, and you got to replace 100. So what? We've banked on all the hundreds of thousands of other ones we've sold, or whatever the numbers are, right? Because I don't think many people use in-home treadmills. Like they're not racking up. Not many people. Some do. Yep,
I agree.
Some do.
I think a lot of people, because you still want that social part of it. So a lot of people are going to the gym and running on their treadmills.
Yeah. It says running impact equals several times your body weight.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So if you're a 200-pound person, it's several times, not double, several times. So it's like 1,000 pounds, let's say. It says a person over 250 pounds, a high mileage runner, cheap motors will die early. And that's where you do want to start to look at not just the frame, but the motors as well. And I do remember when I was looking at the treadmill that I got, like, it was so long ago now that I got that. But I want to say, man, I think I looked it up. I want to look up what mine is, because I want to say it's a beefy motor. Let me see if I can find. Oh, okay. So it is 3, it says.
And we were looking at the ones that were over, it says 3+.
Yeah, 3+. And that does start to get into speed as well. But let's get into, so these are some of the treadmills that this research put together. This is not Mitch and I saying, go get these treadmills. If you do some Googling and you do some consolidating, these are some of the ones that were thrown out.
Yeah. Yep.
The Sole F80, around $1,600. So they call this the blue collar hero. It's steel frame, 3+ continuous horsepower. That's what that CHP stands for.
Yeah.
And capacity of 350 pounds. I mean, that's a pretty decent sized person using a treadmill. You're talking a football player.
Yeah.
It's pretty decent size. So I say that to say it's capable, right? It's rock solid, doesn't wobble at high speeds, which again, that can be a thing. Like I remember again, another treadmill that we've worn out some treadmills. I remember another one we had, man, it moved. It just moved too much.
I just remember the one that I had because it was the clothes hanger special.
The one you started with.
That I started with. But as your foot hit the belt, it would slow down. Like it was not meant for serious training.
Right.
It did what it needed to do.
Yeah.
It got me to at least get outside and, it got me started, did all that stuff. But I knew it was something.
It got you to where you are today, essentially.
I can't have something like that this time. Like
No.
if I spend money on something and it just slows down, because somebody that was listening offered me to give me their treadmill. I'm like, if I'm just going to move something out of somebody's basement that they don't want it anymore and then move it into mine, it's going to go out just as soon.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even going to waste my time with it.
Yeah. Some warnings here that it talks about with that Sole is speed changes are slow, which whatever. I suppose that's just a getting used to thing. And not ideal for 30-second sprint workouts.
Because the changeover, when you need it to speed up, it's not going to speed up quick enough.
That's true. Or slow down.
Yeah.
You're at the end of that. You're like, slow down. Next up, 3G Cardio Elite Runner. Now, this is a high level one, $5,200-ish. The No Flinch Machine, 4 horsepower, 400-pound capacity, no belt shutter on foot strike.
I don't think I want to spend that much.
That's pretty pricey. Good for heavy runners, good for aggressive training, long-term ownership. Then we're going to jump into the Landice. Landice is a high. I looked at Landice when I was researching mine for a few different reasons. And man, to get into the one I wanted, it was like $8,000. So this one that they're saying, the L8 6600, $6,600 is like, that's the entry point of an L8. And then once you add in, like, I wanted a couple of the bells and whistles, the bigger screen, and I wanted to be able to, there's something else that I wanted to be able to do with it. And it was like $8,000. Like, oh my gosh, that's an expensive treadmill.
I need 2 of those.
But here's the deal. When I did my research, Landice ranked up there as far as like warranty, everything. They were top notch. And this does say this is the 3,000 mile a year club treadmill. And I will throw mine in there in a minute, but this one supports up to 500 pounds, commercial grade durability, built for daily pounding. It says what to stay away from, anything under, and then it goes into further clarify some things. Stay away from anything under 2.5 continuous horsepower if you actually plan to run. If you're a walker, then those are fine. Number one, the impact isn't nearly as great.
Right.
Things like that. So you can probably get away with lower horsepower. And it does say this. Yeah, it actually says that. These are walking machines no matter what the box claims. So they're going to talk about ability and safety here a little bit, from newbie to pro. Match the machine to your stride, not just your speed. And I think that's important, like we were saying, with the impact. If you're a very smooth runner, you can probably get away with maybe the 3 horsepower instead of the 4 horsepower. Says for the athletic / serious runner, they recommend, or they say here is a recommendation. Again, this isn't just a recommendation. NordicTrack commercial.
I've looked at these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one is specifically the 1750. It's about $2,000. Why it's popular, and this is something that mine can't do. Negative 3% decline. Not many can do a decline.
Yeah.
Up to 12% incline.
When you start thinking about that big incline, what will it fit with you on it in your basement?
Yeah, true.
So
that's true. You got to watch headroom at some point.
So that's interesting. And then how many people actually use the incline on their treadmill?
I do. I'll get to that. And I'll say why. Not a ton. I did not use it to the full.
Most people don't do it as much.
No.
I know my friend Joe, he had one that had it in his barn because he was doing mountain hundreds and he had a huge incline on it. He spent a ton of money on that thing.
Yeah, I think I've seen people put the front on something in order to get more incline.
Yeah.
But 12% is not nothing. That's steep. Great for hill training, spacious deck for long strides, meaning the length of the deck, not the width. Here's some warning, subscription dependent. That sucks.
That's a thing that I wanted to say at the beginning is a lot of these treadmills, you have to buy a subscription.
But that's for the bells and whistles.
Yeah. So you want to, you think that stuff's all cool, but you don't realize there's a monthly cost. It is,
they are, but yes, you're right. That's a monthly cost. And man, any obstacle put in the way is a major obstacle.
Yeah.
For a treadmill. Without iFit, many users say it feels like an expensive brick. That sucks. I don't want an expensive brick in my basement. And then it goes into so here's for the beginners and the walkers, the Horizon T101, around $600. Why it works? It's simple, compact, low tech, in a good way. Users praise how quiet it is, easy to fold. So it's a folding. Another thing I will say you got to be careful of. When you get into folding treadmills, that's an additional componentry that could fail.
Well, to me, I think about if you're going to spend, if you're talking about that $600 range, I would get on Facebook Marketplace at that point.
Yeah.
And I would take my chances and get a $100 one.
Well, I would take my chances and get the best $600 one I find.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe you don't buy this one new at $600, but you buy a Nordic for $600. It says for unsteady, it's not for for unsteady runners and seniors, they recommend this. I have not heard of this. Rodero Balance Plus, $420, full length safety handrails. That's another thing I will say. The safety handrails, you'd think, I'm young and fit. Those actually do help.
Especially when you're watching your kid play video games.
Oh my gosh.
Not that I have experience with this. And then you're following it.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you're holding onto those rails, trying to not fall off the back of it.
And you just need that quick little touch to go,
okay. I was dragging my
feet. I've watched movies before, and I've had to just go, whoa, because of the action scene or something, and it's like, oh, careful.
Yeah.
So the tech trap. So we are going to get into a little bit of what you were saying with so many of them today. And I understand why treadmills are doing that. It's just another way to sell something else.
It would be cool if you have, if you're easily bored, if you have all that stuff in front of you and you can do all that stuff. It's cool. But
it is.
I don't know if it's worth it.
I don't know if it's worth it either. This says, are you buying a treadmill or a giant iPad? Good question. Integrated tech is great. So Peloton, NordicTrack, two very popular ones that have that integrated technology. This talks about the 2450 by NordicTrack. It's a $2,500. So now we've bumped up a little bit more. Some cool features, auto adjust, instructor changes speed and incline for you. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you are into that kind of thing and you want a trainer or you want to run something. So one of the things that I was talking about that I can do with my treadmill is I can tie it to, it was really cumbersome. I only did it a little bit because it was too cumbersome. And so this gets to why the integrated tech is kind of nice. I could run like the London Marathon and it would follow incline. So if it was going up a hill, it would incline. That's pretty cool.
I think it would be cool if you could have it linked up and it's like you're watching the course on your TV.
This did.
And you're watching the course.
Yeah.
So you do it, you play it on the TV then in front of it, or
no? In this case, it was on an iPad, but you could put it on whatever, I suppose.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, this was cumbersome, but again, this goes back probably 10 years, 7 to 10 years when I got mine. And when I got mine, that was pretty. I wouldn't say it was new, but it was happening more and more. But the content wasn't super massive.
Well, think about how cool that would be. It's like when you were running the Boston Marathon and you had a goal.
Yeah.
To actually practice
on the course
on your treadmill, watching it and knowing what to expect.
Yeah.
How many times you're going to run 26 miles to get ready for it, though? Maybe just do sections.
Your goals.
I guess you could do it in sections.
Yeah. Good point. Some other things about this says user complaints or software glitches. That sucks if you're buying something for that reason and it's glitchy. Poor customer service by NordicTrack. Again, I'm not saying that. These are just some comments that people said. As the screen fails, yeesh, the treadmill can become unusable. I think that would be with most of them, though.
Yeah.
If the screen fails, I'm not sure what BYOD is. Bring your own device, the smart play. I'm not sure what this means.
I think that you would take and hook in your own.
Oh, yes, like what I did.
Yeah.
That's what mine did.
I would rather do that, I think. Because then the technology can be upgraded.
Yeah.
Instead of buying a whole new treadmill.
Mine was interesting. Mine, you connected the treadmill to the iPad. Then you put the iPad in front of you via Bluetooth, and then you would run the app on the. You downloaded an app to the device, and then you'd run the app on the device, and it would control the treadmill. Is what mine would do. And yeah, I didn't mention that. Mine's a Life Fitness treadmill. Mine, the reason I got mine, I'll mention this now. The reason I went with what I went with, it's a commercial level treadmill, but on the consumer end. So I ran so much on treadmills at the Y, Life Fitness treadmills, and I went, think about the amount of use those treadmills get. Yeah. Those get so much use because when you go into like a Y, those treadmills are getting used.
Well, they're
getting used all day.
I know, and that's where I struggle is I'll look for those deals and I'll say, oh, it's a commercial treadmill and it was come from a gym. And they still want a bunch of
$5,000. They're expensive.
Nope. Yeah. Why don't I buy a new one then?
Well, and that's but those treadmills are probably like $10,000 new. So I don't know that. I'm just throwing out a number. I don't want people looking it up and going, no, they're not. He's an idiot. They're 20 or they're 5 or whatever.
They can say what they want.
They can still say I'm an idiot. But so what I did is I want Life Fitness because it's quality. I know that. And I want the best or close to the best in-home one with a wide enough, long enough belt to run on. And that's where I landed on the T3 by Life Fitness. And it's around, what do we say, $300 to $3,500 treadmill. Not cheap, but it does everything I want it to do. And I will say this, I want the tech less than I thought I did when I initially bought it.
It's interesting. I multiple times I've looked at treadmills thinking I'm going to pull the trigger, and I've always wanted a wider track too. But then when you look at how much space you actually take up when you run, it doesn't need to be as wide as you think it does. It
doesn't. And I will say you do get used to whatever you probably get. But I will say I do like having the additional, it's not much, but that 3 inches, it's a lot when it is mentally it does make makes more difference than you think. For me, it was more about, I thought I wanted all this fancy tech and gadgets and bells and whistles. As it turned out, I didn't. Because after trying all that stuff, it really came down to I could just throw something on the TV or just throw something on my headphones and just log some miles. So really all I needed was for it to just go. And I might do some speed work, so I wanted to speed up and slow down.
And you want it to do those
fairly quickly.
Fairly quick.
Yeah, and mine does. I'm super happy with it. I will say I'm not disappointed with what I spent on that treadmill. It will last me the rest of my life. And the incline. I will say I use mine for the incline because a bunch of research said if you're training for sub 730 type paces, 1% incline.
Really?
Yep. And there was this long study done by this research team because so many people said there's zero reason for the incline when they said comparing it to running outside. Because there is a difference running on a treadmill to outside. And they said, if you are running slower, and I don't mean slower, it's not slow, just the pace is slower than a 730. There's little to no reason to incline to try to get the same as outside. You can go find that study. It's out there. If I could find it, maybe I'll link it. But it's not super easy to find. Maybe I take that back. It might be easy to find. And if I find it, I'll link it. It's an interesting study. So I would always put mine at 1% incline. So that was my 0. So if I wanted to do incline, everything was above 1. And then my cool down, I would take it down to 0.
Okay.
And holy cow, what a difference. When you've ran all at 1% and then you do cool down, you feel like you're almost falling forward. So the marketplace gamble, new versus used. This says, is the $200 treadmill a steal or a future headache? Like you were talking about with the guy or the person that just was like, hey, take it.
Yeah.
Is it just going to end up being a headache? Super nice of the person, but it might end up just being your headache.
It's probably not what I want. So
good. Yeah. Good possibility. It does say here to look for Sole, Landice, Precor. Precor is the one I think we had no, not broke, but was wobbly.
Okay. Well, I did look on Marketplace for Landice a few minutes ago, and there's some deals out there.
Yeah.
So maybe.
I would throw Life
They're probably
Fitness.
Really old.
I would throw Life Fitness out there. Life Fitness, I would vouch for them. I have been super happy with mine. And like you said, many were bought as New Year's Eve resolutions and barely used. Brad Prime, who we've had on the podcast a few times, he went down to Chicago and picked up 2 from a gym that went out of business.
He had them in his barn.
Yeah, and they're nice. They're bigger. They're big. They're full on commercial grade treadmills. Says that the next thing is the diagnostic hack. Google the models.
Diagnostic mode.
Yeah, and check the lifetime mileage.
That's interesting.
That would be, I don't want to say next level, but I guess it would be good to know going in. But I bet you some of those, unless you're getting like a Landice, I know that mine, the service guys can get in and find the true mileage. But man, unless you're spending on that upper level, I doubt all of like the $500 ones, they don't keep that.
Yeah.
They aren't keeping that mileage. I doubt. Maybe.
I avoid anything over 1,000 miles. That's kind of crazy too, because I mean, if you're actually running, it's easy to get 1,000 miles.
Yeah. I wonder if that's why they're saying that. If it's under 1,000 miles, it's barely used.
Right.
Because man, go to those ones that like the gyms, the Y, and in our case, the Y. Well, I guess in a lot of people's case, the Y, because they're worldwide, really. Those have got to rack up 1,000 in, I don't know, a month or 2.
Yeah.
Like they're nonstop, man. Somebody gets off, somebody gets on.
Yeah.
And they just keep going all day, every day. Expectations, Landice or Precor.
Oh, the exceptions are Landice or Precor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I need to blow this up. Look for, and this is interesting, new machines, 10-year to lifetime frame warranties. I think ours has lifetime frame and 10-year motor. And obviously used machines have 0 warranty. I will say this, Landice, it's a transferable warranty.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, I take that back. Landice is, or maybe it's ours. Landice, one of the warranties was transferable to family. I believe it is. It's weird. Transferable to family. Landice might actually transfer across the board. Like Landice takes care of their treadmills. An example, a Nordic, a dead NordicTrack motor, it says motorboard. I'm wondering if that's mother. Maybe it's just motor. $600+ to repair. That would suck.
Yeah.
Think you're getting a deal and end up spending that much more. Price-based recommendation guide, really quick, under $1,000. They're talking about the Horizon T101. $1,500 to $2,000, the Sole F80. Both of those are pretty known brands. The $2,000 to $3,000, the NordicTrack $1,750 to $2,450, as we mentioned before. And then it does say 3G cardio or a Landice for the $5,000 and up. Lifetime warranty, heavy runner machines for those upper segments. And then this next section, I threw this in here because I think this is an important one to look at. When I did my research, I was looking at these, and what I did find about these treadmills was they're not exactly for long distance runners. I did see a guy he picked one up. It was not a Woodway's. It was a different popular brand, non-motorized the curved non-motorized. And that I didn't mention that. This is the non-motorized curved treadmills. There's non-motorized treadmills, which are more or less walking. They go on a no friction thing and a slope so that you can walk. But that's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about are if you look up Woodway's treadmills, they're a curved, and they're usually more geared towards speed workout type things. However, you can 100% get used to running on these for long distance as well. And from what I understand, again, this is not from I have not done this, but I've looked at runners say this. They are very similar, more similar to running outside because you're propelling it instead of a motor propelling it. So the feeling is more like running outside.
It would be interesting to try one.
It would. Yeah. But yeah, also called curved treadmills, no motor. You're the motor essentially. It curves up in front of you and you push it away with every step. Kind of an interesting treadmill.
Yeah.
Why people love them? True self-paced speed. You don't set the speed. You set your pace. You go. It gives it'll give you the feedback. It'll tell you what you're going, but you can't just go, I want to go 8 miles an hour. That's the pace, or 7 miles an hour or whatever. You set your pace. It has faster acceleration than motorized treadmills. So like if you want to do a sprint workout, take off. You can do it. Higher metabolic costs, says more energetically demanding, recruits more muscles, which I suppose, again, not an expert on this.
Yeah, it just
by
depends
any
on
means.
your level of training too.
Yeah. Very natural feeling, says many runners say the motion feels closer to outdoor running than a traditional treadmill. Woodway, the premium curved choice. Now, I will say that these numbers that they give here, I don't think that that's correct. 3,000 to 6,000. I think it's up. I think it's more like 8. If I remember right.
That's a lot of money for
it is
something without a motor.
Yeah. Says it starts in the 3,000 to 6,000. I think that's dependent upon the type of technology you want included with it. And you say, well, what kind of technology would you need? It's all giving you feedback on what it's doing or what you are doing. So, yeah, Woodways, you'll see those on the sidelines of like NFL games.
Okay.
Like a lot of, I have seen them with NFL teams. Let me put it that way. They're very rugged. Like you can put very big dudes. You'll see them in some gyms for people that want to do speed type workout, that kind of a thing.
I've never seen one.
Kind of cool. They're kind of neat. Yeah, it says where they shine, speed work and intervals, training without electronics, runners who want a different stimulus, and people who don't like subscription apps or screens. They're very stripped down. So yeah, that's just another option to put out there. Not saying those are for everybody, but there's something you may want to look at. Not necessarily you, but in general. Yeah. Some final things to just wrap up on all of this. Wait, what is this? Did I put that in there?
You added a bunch of extra stuff in there.
I don't know what I don't know what that is. Yeah, in summary, the biggest things you want to look at are, number one, who are you going into this? If you're a 100-pound person, you don't need the same treadmill as the 300-pound person. Your options probably open up a lot more.
I think it's interesting too, based on reading this too, is the continuous horsepower. You want at least, I think no matter who you are, you want at least 3.
Yeah.
And if you're a heavier runner, you might want to think about closer to 4.
Yeah. Yep. It matters. Yeah, it definitely matters, but it's not all. Motor is probably the biggest thing when it gets to that stage. Yeah. Because in my head, I'm saying, well, the frame should sort itself out. It's going to be beefier, but maybe not. I don't know. I would say stick with name brands. Like, man, if you're going to spend $3,000,
you're right.
It better be something with a backing. Like, I want a warranty.
I've done a lot of checking on Marketplace too, and I don't see deals out there like that.
Man.
So I tend to lean away from Marketplace for that. For the amount that it cost, I think you're better off getting a new one with a warranty.
Yeah.
Because they're not half. They're not half off. If they were half off, I would think about it, but they're not. I don't see any out there that are like that. And if they're way less money, they're really old and probably have a ton of miles on them.
I would trust a Landice or something like that if it was significantly discounted. But yeah, you're right. If it's not half off, I don't know. Or if it doesn't have the warranty that goes with it.
Right.
Which I think I would check that. I would double check if warranty transfers on Landice, if you were thinking that way. Otherwise, I would just say Life Fitness, man. I am so happy with mine. Even if I'm not using it, like I don't doubt that treadmill for a second that I can hop on and do 20 miles any day.
But you spent
$3,000. Yeah, $3,000, $3,500. It might have been on sale. I might have got it for $2,800. Like for some reason that sticks out in my head. Either way, like that's a treadmill for life, essentially. I mean, I have racked up some miles and watched movies on it, and it just hasn't the last couple of years. Yeah. So, because I was one that went inside in the winter a lot for a few years there. Like I was just sick of the footing and didn't want to deal with it. It was super easy to just throw on the same thing I would throw on to go outside in the summer, take a water bottle, stick it in the holder, and run my run.
You don't have to worry about carrying stuff.
You don't have to worry about carrying stuff. You don't have to worry about, do I layer up 3 layers or 2?
Right.
Are my hands going to freeze? Do I need hand warmers? What do I need in my head? Like all that stuff. Oh, and then, let's meet at the snowmelt. Well, I got to drive there. Man, all that, I got my run done. So I was a proponent for the treadmill run for quite a while. And I do enjoy it.
And you talk about all the other, do I need a headlight? Do I need,
Yeah, it's Yeah, it's December, so we get like 6 hours of light. Gets like, I mean, yeah, it's so dumb. Light at 9 and it's dark at 3, it feels like.
Hey, days are getting longer.
They are. So that is nice. But anyway, we just thought we'd talk about some treadmills. Be on the lookout for those big deals here over the next month because people will be selling them soon.
Hey, yeah. I'm only interested if it's half off.
And if you bought one, if it was your Christmas present, you're like, I ain't doing this in a couple weeks, give Mitch a call.
Right. He
might be stopping over and checking out what you got.
Yeah.
Go check us out on Facebook. Go check us out on Marketplace. YouTube. Maybe Marketplace.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Spotify, all your favorite different listening platforms. But that's going to wrap up this week's episode of the I Don't Know Running podcast. Be sure to tune in next time as we share more about what we just don't know.
Until then, happy running.